Hey, what is up guys, MKBHD here, and welcome to Ask Me V3. So this is the third installment of a fun little video series where I basically answer a bunch of questions from Twitter and some other social media for a video. And I also have some questions from the last episode from the comments section of the V2. So if you want to ask questions for the next Ask MKBHD video, feel free to leave them in the comment section below this video, or I might just like answer them in a comment anyway. But either way, let's go ahead and get started. I have a bunch of questions. Let's go. Do you edit the videos that you make for your channel yourself, or you've got people to do the job? So everything that you see on this channel is completely crafted by me, 100%. There is no like second guy or other behind the scenes crew working on anything. It's just me. And I feel like it's sort of like a portfolio that way of the videos I make and the projects that I work on. What was the very first device you reviewed? The first one ever was the Motorola Droid, the original OG Droid. And I was really proud of that video. In fact, no shame, I'm just gonna leave a link to that OG Droid review right below that like button if you want to check it out. I think it was kind of good. I think I shot that with my Canon T2i and like the built-in microphone in my laptop. But I was really proud of it, and I worked just as hard on that video as I do on my current reviews. So if you want to check it out, there it is. Do you think you'll do more news type videos considering the success of your iPhone video? Good question. Mostly because I don't know, I guess I expect the iPhone stuff because so many people are interested in iPhones. I kind of expect that to do really well, but I don't know if that was a news type of video. I still think that's in my current style of I did an explained video on it and I did sort of an impressions video on the materials. So I guess, yeah, I'm still covering iPhone stuff, and what's funny is my 3 most viewed videos now in the past month, according to YouTube Analytics, are my 3 iPhone videos that I've done this year. But either way, yeah, I plan on doing the same variety of content that I've planned on. What's your NBA team you cheer for, and what do you think about LeBron heading to Cleveland? So the team I cheer for is the Los Angeles Clippers, and I'm a fan of a bunch of players on that team, especially Chris Paul, Jamal Crawford, DeAndre Jordan. But about LeBron heading home, I don't really mind that much. I mean, props to him for going home. That seems great. Especially for Ohio, but I don't really mind that much. I'm still gonna be watching Clippers games. Can you say boss? Boss? Do you own a dog? Because you should. I don't own a dog, mostly because if I were to like leave and go like on a trip for Ultimate or school or something, I would not have any place to keep that dog. Because, you know, you kind of have to feed it and walk it and stuff. That's pretty important. But I think in a later time, I will probably end up getting a dog or a cat or something that I can pet. What's your favorite piece of video gear except for your camera? I think I'm gonna cheat a little bit just because video gear is only a couple of things, and I'm gonna say the lens. The lens I'm shooting this video on now, and the lens that I shoot a lot of videos on, is a Sigma 18-35. I'll leave a link to it below. It is easily my favorite lens ever, and I've used a lot of lenses in my time. I've used some very expensive lenses from Canon, from Sigma, and from some others, but this Sigma 18-35 is a beast, and it's the fastest zoom lens ever, and I love the wide angle stuff. It's awesome. I don't know if I can say enough about it. I've never reviewed it, but if you watch other reviews, everyone else likes it too. It's great. Can we have a rundown of all the cameras you've used in the past? All right, so the video I'm shooting this on now and what I've shot for the last couple months is the Red Scarlet. May or may not do a video on the Red, but I feel like it's a possibility. Before this, I was using the Canon C100 for a couple of months. Before that, I was using the Canon 5D Mark III. Before that, it was the Canon 60D. You can see I've used a lot of Canon. And before that, it was the Canon T2i. And then before that, my first camera that I ever bought was the Sanyo Zacti CG10, still an old favorite. What is your least favorite part of doing YouTube videos? Tim, that's a great question because most people ask what's like my favorite or the best part of making YouTube videos. I would say the least favorite part is probably just being like unsatisfied or being your own biggest critic. Although it is a pretty important part of making your own creative content, being like unsatisfied or unable to achieve like a video look or style that you wish you could make is really frustrating. But I guess it's still a motivator on the other hand of things. So I guess there's not too much bad about making YouTube videos. What was your first job? My first job, I was a caddy at a local country club. I've been a golfer for more than 10 years now, and being a caddy was like a natural first job for me to get. And spoiler, it's a really good job. If you're into golf, or if you're into or want to be into golf, That's an awesome first job to have. Do you ever do videos pantsless just because you can? No, but now that you mention it, you're right, I could. What's one tech device you want to own but can't other than a Tesla? A tech device that I can't own. Probably the perfect, like the perfect piece of gear, like the perfect microphone or the perfect camera, because it just doesn't exist. Maybe that's cheating because these things don't actually happen in real life, but I would love to have a perfect microphone that could perfectly isolate just the amount of sound that I want to record and block out everything else. But of course, physics don't really allow for these types of things. Can you do a behind the scenes video showing how you make videos? Yeah, so this is something I've considered doing for a little bit. Mostly haven't done it yet because it's really hard to like do a behind the scenes of how I'm making an actual video when I don't have someone to shoot me making a video. So it would be like me making a fake video while I make a real video about how I make the fake video. Kind of difficult. I don't know. Leave a thumbs up if you like want to see something like that, like a how the videos become what they are sort of tutorial, I guess, but it's something I've considered and I think it might be an interesting topic at least to cover. Do you use Art or Dalvik on your Nexus? So every phone I've taken out of a box for the past couple of months, I always almost immediately switch it to the Art Android runtime, but now that the Nexus I have is running Android L Developer Preview, there is no Dalvik. Art is the default, so I guess I will no longer have to switch Nexuses over to Art as soon as I take them out the box. Android runtime is where it's at. What is the one thing no phone does that you wish they could? Last a week on battery without charging, at least. You know, phones used to be able to do that. How's your experience with the G Watch and Android Wear been? I've had a pretty mixed experience with the G Watch, which is the one that I've been using. I'm still waiting for the Moto 360 because I am most interested in that as a smartwatch. But my time with the G Watch has been interesting. Number one, it doesn't last very long on battery. It lasts a day and a half maximum, usually a bit less than a day. And the other thing is the step counter. I don't know if it's using my wrist as the step counter instead of my phone sensor, because I was eating breakfast with Unbox Therapy in San Francisco after Google I/O, and I took 900 steps while eating breakfast. So that's clearly not accurate. So I've just stopped using the step counter altogether. I turned it off. But other than that, I like having the notifications on my wrist. I was using a Pebble for the months before Google I/O, so I was really interested in how it shows notifications. So I like the G Watch as a concept, as a proof of concept, but I'm way more pumped for the Moto 360. Pancakes or waffles? Definitely pancakes. No question about that. Fellow tall person here. Worst thing about being tall? Other people's showers. Other people's showers. Think about it. Is the RX 100 Mark III significantly better than the previous versions, or should I save my money and buy a previous version? So I've owned this little RX 100 Mark III, what I think is the best pocket camera ever, for a couple of weeks now. I reviewed the RX 100 Mark II. I would say if you really want that optical viewfinder, if that's something that you actually value in a point and shoot, which not a lot of people do, but it's an awesome feature, then you have to get the Mark III. And if you really want a slightly wider lens, like you would get on this, it's a 24-70, then you have to get the Mark III. Other than that, you can get the RX 100 Mark I, and it's still an incredibly good camera. Very similar sensor, very similar images. There's just a bunch of slight improvements on the second version and the third version. But I love the third version, and I would recommend it to anyone who can get it. So there you go, guys. That's just a couple of the questions I got on Twitter over the past couple of weeks and from the last Ask Me video. Again, if you want to ask questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section below, or follow me on Twitter. Shoot me a question over there. I'll answer it. Just fun, quick little stuff. Figured I'd do this video to get that across. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.